She didn't call. There'd been no fight, no warning. Just a single text message. I want a divorce. All communication should be through my lawyer. Just like that. 7 years gone. She thought being a military wife meant she automatically got half of everything. Half my pay, half my pension, half my life. But what she didn't bank on was that the one thing I knew how to do was follow orders. They say military marriages are hard. I always thought we'd beat the odds. We'd been through deployments, duty rotations, missed anniversaries. I never thought it would end with a text message. But the real twist? She thought she'd take half, walk away with my benefits. She thought the uniform made her entitled. But the uniform comes with rules. This is a story of how my wife tried to take my Navy pay, and how I walked away with everything still in place. 6 months ago, I was 5 years into my Navy career. Steady paycheck, full benefits, structured days. I was stationed out of Norfolk. My routine? Predictable. Up at 0500. PT by 0530. Muster. Then off to CIC for watch rotations. I wasn't a hero. I wasn't some badass SEAL. I was just a committed sailor trying to make rank, keep my head down, and make it to retirement. I was also married. 7 years. Melissa and I met about 9 years ago. She was working front desk at a local dental office. She had this contagious laugh and a sharp tongue. Kept me on my toes. We were okay. At least, I thought we were. Until that message. It was from Melissa. I opened it.
I want a divorce. All communication should go through my lawyer, Mr. Hayes. His contact info is below.
I couldn't really understand what I was reading. I mean, no explanation, no face-to-face, no conversation, no emotion, no nothing. Just legal contact info, like she was canceling a gym membership. I reread it. Once, twice, a third time. I stared at the screen until the light dimmed. I then thought maybe it was some kind of prank. I mean, we'd had dinner together 2 nights before. We had laughed. We had made plans for a cruise to Bermuda or somewhere warm. And now, this, via text? I even tried calling her. No answer. Texted back. Melissa? Please call me. Nothing. I tried calling her friend Linda, who she's always with. Linda actually picked up. Linda, is Melissa with you? I just got a text from her, and I can't reach her.
Yeah, she's here, but she doesn't want to speak to you.
Please, Linda, let me just have one conversation with her. Or put me on speakerphone. Please. I promise. I just need confirmation. Melissa's voice comes on, and she said,
I have nothing else to say to you, Evan. Please talk to my lawyer.
And the phone went off. When I got home, I realized she had moved all her things out. I still thought it was a cruel joke and tried several times to reach out to her, but she never responded. I went by Linda's house to talk to her, but she refused to see me. I could see her inside, but she insisted she had nothing to say to me. With nothing else to do, I responded with one word. Understood. That was the last direct message I ever sent her. I didn't sulk, didn't rage. I'd seen too many guys get blindsided by exes trying to grab half their pay. Not me. Next morning, I walked into legal, booked a JAG appointment, then called Callahan, a civilian attorney, prior enlisted, sharp as a tack. He knew the game. Too many shipmates lost half their checks or paid alimony overseas. Not happening to me. I still remember my first call with Callahan. He'd asked me lots of questions, including how long we'd been married and how long I had been in the Navy.
Step 1. Lock it down. Since Melissa hasn't filed anything through the court or with your command right now, you're not breaking any rules. You're within your legal rights to shut down access to your individual account, Navy Fed, your credit cards, even TRICARE. As long as you're not touching shared marital funds, you're in the clear. And without a court order, there's no UCMJ violation. You're not cutting her off illegally, you're just protecting your own assets. So start with cutting access to your accounts.
And that's exactly what I did. I changed all passwords and logged her out of my Navy Fed account. I logged her out of our TRICARE portal, double-checked all my entitlements with my detailer. She had her own full-time job at a veterinary clinic. No emergency there. We always kept our main finances separate for daily expenses. She had her own account. I had mine. She was an authorized user on some of my credit cards, but none were jointly owned. I logged into my banking apps, canceled those cards, and reported her as no longer authorized. She used to get a monthly allowance from me for discretionary spending. I canceled the recurring transfer immediately. Streaming services and the like were all under my name. I logged out of every device and changed the passwords. If she wanted access now, she'd have to cover the cost herself. The car she drove was leased under my name. I didn't cancel the insurance yet, but made a note to discuss the lease transfer with my lawyer ASAP. The gas card tied to a canceled credit card? Useless now. It all took less than an hour. It wasn't revenge, just accepting the new reality she dictated. She had drawn the line. Lawyers only? Fine. Lawyers work on formal agreements, not assumptions based on a marriage she just ended. And, most importantly, made notes of every benefit she thought she was entitled to. 48 hours after I cut her off, an email landed with her lawyer's info. I sent it straight to Callahan. Then the phone rang.
Hello, is this Evan Carter?
A sharp, impatient voice asked.
I am Benson Hayes, attorney at law. I represent Ms. Carter. My client informs me she's been locked out of all financial access. This is an action that raises serious concerns.
Mr. Hayes, my wife texted me on Tuesday, said she was filing for divorce and that all communication should go through legal counsel. From that moment, all informal financial arrangements ended. I've since retained Mr. Callahan of Callahan and Pierce. I have also sent you his contact in reply to your earlier email. Any discussion regarding this issue should be directed to him. I ended the call. A day later, mid-shift, my supervisor tapped my shoulder.
You've got an urgent call.
It was Callahan. Turns out Melissa had miscalculated. Her lawyer had complained about me unfairly removing her from my accounts and leaving her without medical coverage. My attorney told me he had informed him that,
Per her request, we're not communicating directly, and she's asked for everything to go through attorneys. That includes any access to personal accounts or benefit systems. Any documentation she needs regarding income, benefits, or support can be obtained through legal channels.
There was a cold edge in his voice.
She may not like it, but that won't change the facts.
Melissa then emailed me directly, breaking her own lawyer-only request.
You really think you can just erase me like that? I gave you the best years of my life.
I thought about replying, thought about reminding her I had desperately wanted to talk, and she had refused. But I didn't. I forwarded it to my lawyer and said nothing. Update 1, 1 week later. It's been a week since the text. Things heated up as expected. Thanks for all the comments and DMs. Good to know I'm not losing my mind. Her lawyer filed for temporary spousal support. They asked for over $2,000 a month, claiming customary lifestyle expectations. My attorney submitted counter documents. Melissa earns $52,000 annually. She has 0 children. No medical expenses yet. She voluntarily left our shared apartment. The judge reviewed the facts and ruled in our favor. Melissa would receive a modest, temporary support amount, barely enough to cover her new rent. No insurance coverage reinstated. No retroactive payments. A week later, word got back to me through mutual friends. Melissa had shown up to work crying, claimed I blindsided her, that I cut her off cold. She even tried to get sympathy from her co-workers, saying she had no health insurance now. Then the personal attacks began. Melissa's best friend, Linda, called one Wednesday night. I answered.
Evan, what is wrong with you? You cut Melissa off completely? No money? No access?
She said lawyers only. I'm only following her rules.
That's cold, even for you. Doesn't she deserve support?
Support goes through lawyers now. But I really want to know, Linda, what exactly did Melissa say I did? What did she tell you is the reason for the divorce?
That's not what's important right now. What matters now is that you're being heartless. You're going to regret this. She'll take everything from you.
Okay then. I'm done here. Then her sister called.
You heartless jerk. She gave you years of her life, and you leave her with nothing?
I'm the heartless jerk? She ended our 7-year marriage by text. Said no contact. Everything through lawyers. I'm just following her rules. She hung up. I stuck to the rules, like any sailor would. Orders were orders. She wanted lawyers. She got lawyers. Update 2, 3 weeks later. The attempts at manipulation got even worse. Dirty Trick 1, HR, anonymous complaint said I was using company resources for personal legal stuff. Total lie. I use my own devices. Personal email only. The complaint was vague, claimed I was unstable. But my CO knows me. HR pulled the logs. Found nothing. We had a quick chat. It was dismissed. It was an obvious attempt to mess with my job. A low blow. Dirty Trick 2. Her mother called in tears. Accused me. How could you do this to her? Said Melissa was struggling. Said the judge was unfair. Said I should give her more money. Think of all the years she gave you. I gave her the same answer I give everyone. Melissa chose this route. She wanted lawyers involved. So they handled the money. I'm not discussing outside that. She called me heartless. Then she hung up. Classic emotional pressure play. Especially considering I had called Melissa's parents when I got the message to ask if they would speak to her and they had brushed me off. While they played checkers, I played chess. First, the car. Mr. Callahan sent Hayes a letter informing him that Melissa could take over the lease if she qualifies. If not, return it. I'm done making payments after this cycle. Insurance ends 30 days after that. Her responsibility now. The house. I filed for exclusive use since she left. The judge denied it. Fine. I started the valuation process for sale or buyout. She probably can't afford a buyout. Doesn't matter. I'm establishing legal control. Asset division. Push for full financial discovery. I suspect she's hiding things. That ends here. If she is, it'll come out. And it won't end well for her. Documenting harassment. I logged every manipulative call. Work complaint complete with dates, times, summaries. Mr. Callahan said this matters. It can affect the final settlement. Legal fees, too. They cross a line with that HR stunt. So now it's firm legal action. No wiggle room. Then Melissa broke her own rule again by texting me directly. She said,
Evan, you can't take the car. How will I get anywhere? Plus, stop this.
I took a screenshot, sent it to Callahan. He replied her himself.
Miss Carter, per your instructions, all communication must be via the lawyers. Please file your complaints through Mr. Hayes.
Final update, 6 months later. It's been about 7 months since that first text. The divorce was finalized last month. Honestly, it feels like it all happened ages ago. Now seems like the right time for one final update. Melissa's lawyer kept delaying things. Melissa played the victim, refusing every reasonable offer we made. One of the biggest fights was over the car. She couldn't qualify to take over the lease, but still refused to return it. I wrote the leasing company I was no longer making payments. Since Melissa was no longer an authorized driver, the car was repossessed. They picked it up from outside Linda's place. Melissa was furious, but the truth is, her refusal to act left her with no options. Then there was the house. It sold pretty quickly. The equity is being held in escrow while we finalize the division. Melissa argued she deserved a larger share because of financial disadvantage. But the turning point was financial discovery. We pushed hard for full transparency. Melissa had to disclose everything. That's when we found out she had a separate savings account. Her parents had been giving her money for years, and she also had inherited stocks that she forgot to mention. Mr. Hayes argued that those were separate assets. But Mr. Callahan showed the court that Melissa had mixed those funds with marital finances. That meant they counted as marital property. There was also the anonymous complaint to HR at my job. There was no proof she was behind it, but the timing and nature of it didn't go unnoticed. The judge didn't award damages, but it definitely added to the picture of bad faith. The final settlement happened just before the case went to trial. In pre-trial talks, the judge made it clear he was losing patience with Melissa's legal tactics. Faced with possible worse outcome and the risk of having to pay my legal fees, Melissa agreed to settle. So, here's how it all ended. The house equity was split nearly 50-50ths. I got a slightly larger share because the court factored in her hidden assets. The stocks were divided as marital property. Each of us paid our own legal fees, which was a win for me. Melissa walked away with no medical coverage, no housing, no portion of any retirement, because there wasn't any yet, and no Navy pay. What did she walk away with? A lawyer's bill and zero spousal support after 60 days. As for the real reason for the divorce, there's been none, just irreconcilable differences according to her. She seemed genuinely confused that I didn't just keep paying for her life after everything. She really believed she was owed the lifestyle, even if she didn't want to stay married to me. Thankfully, I got new orders last week for Yokosuka, Japan. New command. Fresh start. I still think about her sometimes, not out of regret, but reflection. For a long time, it ate at me. I kept going over everything in my head, searching for the moment I messed up. Some word, some action, anything that could justify the way she ended it. But there was nothing. I hadn't hurt her. I hadn't betrayed her. We were fine, or at least I thought we were. Then, out of nowhere, a few cold words demanding a divorce. It took me a while to admit the ugliest thought to myself. She never loved me. She planned it all along. Stay a few years, ride the system, and when she was done with me, walk away with the lifetime benefits while I stood there trying to make sense of it all. I was never her husband in her heart. I was her strategy, a means to an end. But I've learned to let it go. I stopped asking why. I stopped trying to untangle the lie. And I am rebuilding, not for her, not for what we were, but for the man I was before she ever showed up, the man who still had something left to give, to himself, to the world. I'll never get back the years I gave to someone who only saw me as a benefit plan in uniform, but I will not let her take any more, because the Navy teaches you how to survive, and I did.